Okay, tonight I'm fuming. Welcome to, I believe, the 18th edition of the Nightly Newsfeed Roundup. I'm your host, James Fargon. I'm going to try to crunch through some heavy territory here. There's a bug. First off, I want to send a shout out to Wayndee. He's a fellow upstart ranter from Canada. Thank you, Wayndee. I'm going to link his channel to this broadcast before I close it out. Wayndee has taken the time to look at every single broadcast that I've done. Thank you, sir. I wish there were more like you. Unfortunately, I have two full-time jobs and a wife busted my balls half the time. I will make it a point to watch at least one of your videos every day and respond. So thank you, Wayndee. Now, moving on. Tonight I'm not going to focus on Rents or Ike. I'm going to focus on Henry Makow, who published my articles on Jim Stone, which produced a fallout of kind of a huge squabble in the truth community as to who is real. Okay, so henrymakow.com. First, I'm going to go to David Icke's newsfeed, and I'm just going to start there and then barrel through. Beaten Ottawa senior jailed after calling 911. Well, I guess you got the same thing happening up in Canuckistan. Ottawa police are reviewing how 911 dispatchers handle calls after a 74-year-old man who was beaten in a home invasion called for help, only to be arrested and thrown in jail for more than 2 months. A 74-year-old man. A retired artist. Thrown in jail for 2 months for calling 911. What more can I say? David Icke, remember who you are. Buy my book. Come to my big show at Wembley fucking Arena. Yada, yada, yada. Now, here I want to get to the core. 4-year-old in Child Protection Services care overprescribed psychotropic drugs. Care, huh? CPS care, yeah. I have certain hot buttons that get me hot, you know, and this is one of them. I mean, like, American fucking men. I know there are still a lot of good men in America. I get emails from them taking umbrage at my attacks. And I understand, you know, there's still a lot of good men in America, but by and large, you gonna let your child get ripped away from you by some thugs and drugged and poisoned? I think, personally, I think that if I had a small child, I don't have a small child of my own seed, but I take care of them. They come to my school, and even for them. And, you know, I've been to jail for them. I've roughed it out. But if I had a child of my own seed, and some thug came and tried to take that child away from me and abuse them, I think I would tear that motherfucker's eyeballs out and take the consequences. 4-year-old in CPS care overprescribed psychotropic drugs. And this is a whole can of worms, folks. Go to gemstonefreelance.com and check out the scoop on these drugs. Should you be allowing these drugs to be fed to your children? So away we go to Henry Makow, and he's got some brilliant stuff up recently. I'm on 5.5 minutes. I'm just gonna like try to breeze through this real fast. Marriage license is a trap. We innocently forfeit our legal and parental rights when we purchase a marriage license. And this is vast territory, folks. It has to do with different branches of it. Has to do with this, okay? Like there's law and then there's legality. Basically, most so-called laws are just policy that you don't have to follow. You don't have to. And the way that the motherfuckers at the top look at it is like, okay, ignorance is no excuse. If you're so stupid that you fall for our dupe, then you deserve what you get. That's really how they look at us. That really is how they look at us. The marriage license began in the Middle Ages as a private contract between two families. Most of the time this was recorded in the local church with or without eyewitnesses. Usually the word of a couple that stated they were married was sufficient to have the marriage recorded as such. That is natural common law. So I can't possibly go through all of this tonight, but go to henrymakow.com and look at this stuff, man. I mean, it's like you don't have to have a driver's license. You don't have to have a marriage license. That's just you're fucking yourself by doing that. It's my drinky poo tonight. You don't have to do it. We have to consent to enslavement in order to be enslaved, but the loophole is that ignorance of the fact that you are consenting to be enslaved is not, it doesn't get you out of it. They're very arrogant and they're very condescending, and from their point of view, if you're too fucking stupid to figure it out, you deserve what you get. Well, now the information is out there. And the more that information spreads, the more I have to agree with them, although I don't at the end of the day. But, you know, like, if you look at the facts and you decide to look away and, like, you know, go back to your Facebook games and your sports, then, God, you know, like, it's out there. Roman law. You walk into a courtroom and you see the American flag with gold tassels around it. That is maritime law. It has nothing to do with you as a person, as a man or woman. It has to do with their legal fictions. And this article at Makow breaks that down brilliantly. Brilliantly. You are slaves, your children are chattel of the state. And you make them chattel of the state when you register them. That relates to the word regis, which means queen. When you register them with their names in all capital letters. Check it out, folks. There's no bullshit. If you want to emancipate yourself, you got to stand up and say, And I'm going to do that tonight. After I finish this, I'm going to make a formal stand through a video. The next, you know, so like what I wanted to get at, I wanted to connect the article from David Icke with this. It's like, you know, what gives the fucking state the right to take your child away and abuse and medicate him or her? What gives the state the right? I mean, that's your child. God gave you that child. What fucking right does the state have? Well, they've made that happen with your unconscious assent. No. Unconscious acquiescence. Let's put it that way. Now I'm coming up on 10 minutes 45 seconds, so I've got to hurry. How time flies. Police brutality is another hot button thing here. Local police are being federalized and indoctrinated to serve the Illuminati. Henry likes that word. I prefer globalist, because it just covers all of those motherfuckers. Jew, Gentile, toady, they're all fucking globalists. Local police are being federalized and indoctrinated to serve the Illuminati. I say globalists. They behave like thugs. That's true. And this is a brilliant article. Now police across the country play by their own rules. They will lie, cheat, and steal. They act as judge, jury, and executioner with impunity. They are paranoid. Citizens are learning that dialing 911 for help, recall the Canadian story, can get themselves or family members or even their neighbors assaulted and even murdered. What the fuck, man? What kind of society is that to live in? I mean, really, are you that outgunned, Americans? You're afraid of going to prison. I don't blame you. But there's going to come a point where somebody's got to take the fall. I've taken a minor fall. Some other more brave and stronger people have got to take bigger falls. And it just goes on to list and enumerate all these crazy ass stories of police just behaving like fucking gangsters, man. And that's all they fucking are, is just fucking gangsters. And it's followed up, to Henry's credit, man. He posts these comments that are almost as long as the article itself. And he's got one from a therapist in a small California town under 10,000. And this is what I've learned from clients. I gotta check my time. I got about another minute left. A young man finds his wife cheating on him, goes to the backyard and hangs himself. The police cut him down and he is still alive. They handcuff him and beat him to a pulp. A man was suicidal. His wife calls 911. He is sitting on the couch and scratches his shoulder. They taser him without warning. As he is trying to get up off the floor, one shoots 3 bullets into him. He dies in front of his wife and 15-year-old son on the day that he wanted to commit suicide. Suicide by scratching your shoulder. The wife and son are arrested while in total shock and traumatized, are each interrogated for 3 hours. Meanwhile, at the home, police find a handgun registered to the wife. They shoot a few holes into the wall and claim they killed him in self-defense. So, fuck the pigs. I'm sorry. My wife just warned me. That was my one outburst for tonight. I'm going to do my wrap up now. So, American men, if you are not cognizant enough to defend your families and children from globalist assault under the micromanagement of Roman law legislation, I hate to say it, but you might deserve what you get. This life is but a blip. Use it wisely. defend the women and children at the cost of your own life. This is James Fargon, and again, a shout out to Wayndee. Thank you, Wayndee. Over and out.